Hello everybody and welcome back to the Savage DM Teaches. I am giving Discord and Roll20 tutorials. This mainly for the new players in my games, but honestly I'm trying to make it so it's something anybody can use. So let's get into it. We're going to start talking about character sheets and the compendium today, and how to make the most of these resources you have at your fingertips. So let's get into it. So first off, I have made a character sheet here. What you're going to do to open it is you go to journal. Now normally my players will have theirs in the character area here, which everybody will be able to see, and they will only be able to see their own character sheets. However, all you got to do is the character sheet you want to open, you click on it. All right, it's very simple, easy to do. Now, something I know that some of my players have struggled with is having only one monitor. Oh, I can't see my whole map. You know, the character sheet, it's in the way. Here's a simple solution. So all you're gonna do is this top area right here. So when you mouse over this top area, it obviously turns into the 4-arrow mouse cursor. Just double click. And now you're going to see it here, and you can drag it around your page wherever you'd like, get it out of the way. So, you know, let's say I'm going to put it up here in the upper right corner so I can still see everything, but then I know my term is coming up soon. So I'm going to open it. And from here, I'm going to go, you know, I can do the spells, check the bio page, the core page, what I've got with my character. So I just made a quick character, one I'm never going to play. Just to give you guys some examples and show you how to do things on the character sheet. So, lengthen that a bit, make it easier. So, the first thing we're going to do is I took human variant, but oh no, I forgot to select my feet when I was creating my character. So, what we're going to do, we go over to the compendium. We can, if you already know what feet, you can just search it. So, let's say you wanted mobile. If I can spell it right. You want mobile? Cool. All you gotta do is click it and drag it. You will see that little white box appear. Drop it in. And there you go. Now, the thing is that when you drop things in, some of them do change your sheet automatically, others don't. I find usually if the feat gives a stat point, it doesn't change the stat points. Or if you're taking tough, it doesn't automatically change your HP. So there are settings to make that happen, but for right now, you see our speed increased by 10 feet. So our normal speed is only 30. So that did in fact increase. And then the rest of that is just things you need to remember to use. All right. So now let's say you, I don't know, it didn't load quick enough for you the first time, or maybe you've selected a second one on accident. Oh no, now I've got 2 feats. It's very easy. So anywhere you see these little locks, all you gotta do is click it. This white box here will allow you to move it into a different spot. The red box will delete it. It's very simple how that works. So that is the first thing, is adding things from the compendium. Now that was a feat. Let's say I happen to find a magic item. Let's say it's a... let's go... I'm not a paladin, but let's say it was a Holy Avenger. Okay? Now, we have the item, right? We drag it in, and you will see down here, it did add it to my inventory. You will also see up here that it added it to my attacks. Now, the thing is that sometimes it doesn't add it correctly. So, actually, the Holy Avenger I think could be any sword. This is why I added it that way. So let's do something else. So we're gonna delete that, and if you delete it, something that has an attack out of your attacks, it will delete it from. It did not delete it from my inventory. Okay, I'm wrong yet again. Let's do it this way. Let's say you get your DM allowed you to buy a longsword. All right. You got to make sure you grab the right one. So there are proficiencies. So if you hit these buttons up here, it'll tell you which one. So proficiencies gives you drag that in and it will give you the proficiency. As you can see, it just showed up at the bottom here. Now, being this character's a fighter, he already has that proficiency since he has proficiency with all weapons. So let's get out of the proficiencies and we're going to go to items. Now, let's say you purchased a +3 longsword. When you drop it in, it will add both to your inventory, it will add to your attacks, and as you can see, it has its magic bonus. Now, what we're going to do is, let's say we want to make an attack. We're going to do it with both hands. So we're going to click on longsword +3 two-hand. You will see it roll in the chat. Now, if you mouse over the total number, you will see that it has rolled a 8 +1 for your strength, +2 proficiency, +3 for your magic, giving you a total of 14. Now, if your DM says, yes, that hits, you're going to then click that in chat and it will roll the damage. And again, if you mouse over it, I could not have had a better roll. It shows you in brackets the number on the dice, followed by your ability modifier, which is 1 strength as a longsword, and +3 magic because it is a +3 longsword. So that is simple, easy ways to add things from your compendium. You can do that with items. You can do that with feats. And proficiencies. It will go to the proper areas. All right. So that is honestly, that is the simplest way to explain the compendium. You can look up your items if you know the magic item you're looking for, or you can just click down here in this list. I need a specific item, or sorry, I need a specific feat, or I want to know about the backgrounds. It will list everything I have in my compendium. Now, I skipped making the character because every DM is going to have a different way they want you to do this. So I didn't want to have people watch this video and then be like, but that guy on the YouTube channel said, when your DM says no, it needs to be made a certain way, this is the format I use, so on and so on. So we're going to add some modifiers now. First, let's say you have a cleric. Your cleric has bless. You have a bard. Your bard obviously has bardic inspiration. What we're going to do is we're going to change some modifiers here. That's all right. So over under global save modifier, although the words are already there, you can't, they're grayed out. It's giving you an example, but we're going to use that exact example. So we're going to type in bless, hit tab, so it goes down to the dice, 1d4. And then you hit the gear, and now it's there. So let's say you are one of the characters, your cleric has blessed. They've used bless, you've got it until they stop concentrating. Now, your DM says, I need a constitution saving throw. Now, because you are a fighter, I've already got the check in the constitution save area, but you have bless as well. So you're going to click that box, and then you're going to roll your constitution save. Now, as you can see, you've got your roll plus your proficiency bonus added in there. So you've got 8 + 4. So I rolled an 8 on the dice, and my proficiency bonus in constitution for my saves is 4. But there's another number there. If you mouse over, it will tell you what this other number is. Now, I rolled really well on my bless, so I now have a total of 16. Now we're going to do the same thing. Just uncheck that when you don't have bless. Leave it in your sheet so you don't have to keep adding it and taking it off. Just use it when you need to. Now let's say you rolled, but then you're like, oh no, I forgot to add on my bless. all you've got to do is, instead of hitting the box and hitting con save again, you just hit the 1d4 bless. So, you know, there's my bless because I forgot to add it onto my con save. So now it's a total of 12. Now you're gonna do the same thing with Bardic Inspiration. So we're gonna call this Bardic Inspo. We will add a d6. And then we hit that. And now, okay, well, I have Bless. But I only rolled a 15. I don't like that number. But the Bard gave me some inspiration. So now I'm just gonna click that and boom. I have a 20 now. We can do that with all of the areas. Remember that Bless works for attacks and saving throws. Okay. So does a Bardic Inspiration. So we're going to add those in there. Now, if you keep going down here, this one here, Global Skill Modifier, I don't know why they put it all the way down here, but this one, Bless doesn't work for this, but Bardic Inspiration and the Cantrip Guidance does. Now, what that does is it will add the D4 to all of your skill checks. Plus, let's say you've got a, you know what? Let's pull in, an alchemy kit. All right. Oops, alchemist. All right, so let's first pull in some proficiency, and then we're gonna pull in the item, alchemist supplies. So now you see down here, we have our alchemist supply skill. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put in guidance, 1d4, hit the gear, Bardic Inspo, 1d6. Now, let's say I've asked you to give me an athletics, and you have Bardic Inspiration and guidance. You're like, oh, I've got to, I got to run and jump over this thing. I'm going to use the Cantrip Guidance on myself. So you touch your chest as you're running, you cast a spell, so you hit the check marks, and then you're going to hit. Sorry, and then you are going to hit athletics. So now you've got, if you mouse over the 22 here, you got 19 on the dice, plus 2 for your proficiency, 1 for your strength, and then it's going to add your bonuses. And since we selected both guidance and Bardic Inspiration, that came to a 3 and a 6, giving you another 9. So that came to a 31 on that roll. Now, you don't always have to use Bardic Inspiration. You can wait until after your dice are rolled. Guidance, it is always there. Once it's been cast until the cleric has dropped concentration. But let's say your cleric dies. Your cleric's dead, not coming back. Decide to switch to a barbarian. Well, now you don't have guidance anymore, so there's no point in having it take up some extra space. So you can delete it. Obviously, this here is your money, which you can uniformly change whenever you would like. Another good thing is, all right, we're going to show you how to pull out your character. So the DM tells you to pull out your character within 10 feet of this guy here. All right. All you gotta do is click and drag your character's name. And there it is. Now, you accidentally close your character sheet. You hold shift, double click, and it will automatically open up your character sheet. One more really good useful thing is, let's say you have several enemies. And you say, I'm going to shoot an arrow at one of them. Okay. Which one? Just click and hold for a moment, and it will ping for you. Wherever your mouse is where it will ping. So what else should we go through on this character sheet? Right. Your inventory and your resources. So, first, you've got a resource section here. It's right underneath your short and long rest buttons. Now, you can decide to add them automatically by hitting the plus. You can hit the lock and delete lines of them. Sometimes. Okay, it's not going to work. Cool. I love making a video. That's when I get a bug. So, we're going to say, all right, 2, 0, and then this is going to be our inspiration points. And there you go. That is added. Now, one thing I do like is that when you drag items in first, it gives you the weight. So if you become too heavy, then you are too heavy. You start losing movement speed and getting disadvantage and such. But one thing you can do is, let's see, we have resources that are expendable. So crossbow bolts. So if you mouse over them, you'll see a little circle with an eye in. It'll pop down this little list here. You hit use as resource, and you can see it just popped it up there into the resource area. Now, the fun thing on this is when you use it, you don't got to go down here and automatically, like, manually change it down to 19. Which, if you do, it will change the amount in your resources. However, if you mouse over these areas, a little up and down arrow pop up, and you can change the numbers. You know, oh, I've expended 6 crossbow bolts, so now I'm down to 14. It keeps track of all your stuff. You can also put things like your rations. You can put your torches. And as you add more and more, it will just keep adding more and more space. Now, I'm going to... Let's just add a couple spells real quick. We'll do, let's see, darkness. We'll do a firebolt. Alright, forgot the space. Firebolt. We will do... let's see, we need a level 1 spell. How about... Guiding Bolt. For a fighter, he's got a lot of cool spells. Just saying. Now, from here, what we can do is you hit the eye, it will show you what the spell does. Now, let's say I ask you, you say I'm going to use a spell, and I'm like, cool, can you post it for me, please? If you are to hit this little chat bubble looking thing by the spell, you can see it puts it in chat. All right. Now, because it's Guiding Bolt, it has an attack, so does Firebolt. You can see here that because this character's a fighter, obviously he doesn't have any... it's not going to use his spell, so we're just going to come down here. And when you click on it, it will roll the number on the dice. Now, because he doesn't actually have a spellcasting modifier, that's what the NAN is about. But a 16 still, so it's same as with a regular attack. You then can click so because okay, it's not gonna let me, but anyways, you do it the same way, oh my goodness, as when you were using an attack. It will roll the damage in the chat. Now let's say we have a spell with a spell save DC, fireball. All right, so again, From here, you can also edit it if there's something wrong with it. It does happen now and then, mostly with third-party resources. But again, we can post it to chat so the DM and other people can read it. And then... Oh, is it not going to let me? Okay. Let's do this. Let's just say... Oh, let's go in and just change my spell safeties real quick. Okay. It is not letting me do this. Okay, so let's say you're going to do a fireball. There's a spell save DC, which normally the number is not 0, but this character was just a fighter. I'm just adding spells to get you guys used to it. It might come up asking what level you want to cast it at. So let's upcast it actually to a 5. So DC, if you actually make a wizard like you would if you're using fireball, it is going to give you the proper DC right here. And then as you can see, the main spell being a level 3 spell, this is where that damage is. So it's 18 is what I rolled out of 8d6, which is an absolutely horrendous roll. And then up above here, we have the higher level cast, which I also rolled horrible, giving a total of 3 more damage. You can also, after you cast a spell, you can also hit show spell description. So it will, again, that's another way to post it to chat. A couple things I also want to mention here. We have your public rolls, which means it goes to everybody. So everybody can see this con save roll I just did. Now, if I go to GM, it whispers it. Now, let's say your dungeon master or game master says that you have advantage on a strength save, or whatever the reason might be. Now, let's say he didn't say that you had advantage, but you accidentally rolled at advantage anyways. The first number rolled would count as your first roll, which means I just wasted a natural 20. But when you do advantage or disadvantage, the proper one will be highlighted. So right now, because I had it on advantage, the 14 is not highlighted. The 23 is. It's bright, much more colorful. It's not grayed out. Now, if I was to do disadvantage, then the 14 plus 1 would be highlighted. And then, of course, you have normal, which is your normal rolls. Obviously, we have the 3 sections of the character sheet. The bio section is obviously things for you to put some notes in and whatnot. You're going to be able to choose your spells. Remember, hitting this little thing next to the spell is how you prepare a spell. So every morning, if you prepare spells, the sorcerer doesn't have to. I'm pretty sure the bard doesn't have to, but like paladins, clerics, druids, wizards, they all have to prep their spells. And normally you do that after a long rest. So what you can do is after a long rest, you want to switch out spells, just be like, hey, I need to switch out some spells. I'm going to prep my spells now. And then you just click this little button here and make sure that it is highlighted, and that tells your DM that those spells are prepped. I find it helps, because a lot of times people are like, oh no, I didn't have that spell prepared today. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Sad days, bud. Anyways, here's your damage. There's also a few settings in here I would like to talk about. So, We're going to turn on the show global AC modifier field. You want to make sure all of these global save modifier fields are checked. It is all useful stuff. Being able to add the proper modifiers. If you have an ability that doesn't really transfer to your AC or your attacks and such automatically, it's something you want to have access to. So instead of having to try and remember it, it's on your sheet, it's in front of you. You can just hit the check mark, be like, oh yeah, I've got this ability, you know, my AC is up by 2 while I'm wielding these 2 weapons. Things like that. The other thing you really want to have on is you want your ammo tracking on. Okay. You also want your track hit dice per class on, especially I find it looks better anyways, but you definitely need it on if you are multi-classing. It does change the layout of the sheet just a touch, which I will show you, and show spell exhaustion tracking on. Another thing to keep an eye on is if you took something like the Tough Feat or Dwarven Fortitude that gives you AC, gives you HP every time you level up. It doesn't always work, so this is the best way to do it. You go to the center area here where it says HP modifiers. You are going to put total levels. You're going to put source, tough, feat, and then how much HP you get every level. So you're going to put a 2, because tough gives you 2 HP per level. And then you go back to core. So as you can see here, the global AC modifier field has showed up. If you don't have anything to put in that right away, you're just going to delete that one that automatically is put there. Now, here is the difference in your sheet when we turn those 2 things on. So here you've got your hit dice. Let's say I took a level in Wizard. A D6 is going to appear here underneath the D10, and it's going to tell me how many are available and how many I have max. It also changes your death saves to a certain area, allowing you to check and roll still. I find personally I like it a little better. It cleans it up. Now, exhaustion tracking. A lot of people don't know what exhaustion actually does, other than, oh, I'm a little bit tired. So here's what you're going to do. You guys decide to force march through the night, and it's time to get some sleep. But you guys are like, we're on a deadline. You know, that ancient egg is going to hatch in 8 hours. If we take a rest now, we're not going to make it in time to stop it. Well, you're going to have a level of exhaustion because you marched through the night. So you click on the up arrow and it will tell you what it does. So 1 level of exhaustion, disadvantage on ability checks. You force march a second night. You're super exhausted now. Well, now your speed is also halved. So the higher up you go, it will give you every single detriment you are going to get showing in this little box. So it's always right in front of you. You don't forget, you know, I've got 3 levels of exhaustion and I just jumped into combat. Oh no, that reminds me. I have disadvantage on ability checks. My speed is halved and disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. I might die. It's all very, very helpful. So I think that is going to be it for this video. It has gone on for almost half an hour, but this is a good rundown on how to use your character sheet. So this has been a good rundown on how to use your character sheet and your compendium. A little bit more knowledge going to help you be a little more successful in how to play your character and make sure things don't take you forever on your turn. Just learning to play the game. So thank you all for tuning in, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all of that fun stuff. And remember, be savage, go home, everybody. Peaces.